Hello Team Zug, and today we'll be making a video of cartoon characters that should have gotten character development a long time ago. So basically, I'm just going to be making a video on cartoon characters that I think that should have gotten character development a long time ago. Oh yeah, bear in mind, this is my opinion, not yours. So here are the rules. But before we get to the rules, I just want to let you guys know that this guy will be in probably at the end of the video, because you're going to see why that he's going to be in the video. So yeah, so get ready to see some angry Craig. Now then, here are the rules. 1. I'm not going to be doing characters that their character arcs are already completed. For example, like Dime Tiara, Silver Spoon, Bab Seeds, and characters such as Hector the Truck will not be in the list because their character arcs are already completed, or some of them are character arcs already complete from the first episode they're in. So they're not going to be appearing on the list. So sorry. Number 2. I'm not going to put any characters I don't like her, or him. Yep. Rule number 3. I'm not going to put any characters from DreamWorks or Disney Pixar, such as Mater. Besides, if I put him on the list, then it wouldn't count. So I'm only going to do cartoon characters from cartoons, not from movies. Okay? Okay? Good. Okay. And I might put some characters that are only from movies, but they are from cartoon shows. So there. Let's get to the video. Oh yeah, this is, as I said before, this is my opinion, not yours. So let's get started. So here we go. We have my top 5 characters who should have gotten character development a long time ago. So let's get to it. In 3, 2, 1, go. Number 5. Lexi, Phil, and Merlin. Yeah, they're probably going to be like the only movie characters that I'm going to put in. Well, Merlin was in season 22 of Tom's Friends, so yeah. So you might be asking, Zug, why are they on your list? Well, I was thinking of characters that I think who should be on the list or not. Then someone suggested of putting these 3 in, and do you know who suggested that? One of my closest friends, the Lego Motion. Yeah, the Lego Motion lives not that far from where I live. If you don't know who the Lego Motion is, the Lego Motion is a fantastic YouTuber. Basically, he makes a Thomas film called Danger on the Rails. That movie was so awesome, even though it's 9 minutes and 4 seconds. But that's still pretty cool. And he's working on stuff that aren't Thomas stuff. His brother has his own channel, and he helps on that, which is pretty cool. I suggest you subscribe to his channel because he deserves it. Okay? Okay. Now, let's get to it. So Lexi, Phil, and Merlin were introduced in Journey Beyond Sodor, the movie. And I have mixed feelings for this film. Some people love this film, some people hate this film, and some people are just okay with this film. I'm personally okay with this film. They have a lot of great stuff, but not as good as films like Blue Mountain Mystery, The Great Discovery, Soldier's Legend of the Lost Treasure, The Adventure Begins, and even Misty on Rescue. So yeah. And the main reason why I hate this film a little bit is because of him. I actually hate Beresford. I hate him as a character. I hate Beresford. But I love Hurricane and Frankie. Honestly, they're 2 great villains. But the characters that interest me a little bit are the experimental locomotives. Theo, Merlin, and Lexi. So let's get to it. Let's start with my favorite member of the experimental locomotives. That is Theo. Yes, I love Theo as a character and his design. I really love Theo's design. It was very cool in my opinion. Because he reminds me of Fergus, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I think the main reason some people don't like Theo is because of his cowardness, and understandably so. But he does have autism. Wait, is that what it's called? I'm pretty sure that's called autism, which is, I think that's he's like scared a little bit, which you gotta feel sorry for him because he have an in lack of confidence. But that's the best part about Theo. Despite being scared of things, he never gives up. Alright? Pretty cool. The next character I really like from the trio is Merlin, mainly because I love his design, and I think the idea of him being a King Arthur class locomotive, an experimental one-off with 3 funnels, was a pretty good idea because it's actually based on something in real life. Go check the wiki yourself. And eventually they were removed. Well, the 2 extra funnels were eventually removed in real life. It is unknown what happened to the prototype, but my only theory is it was sold off for scrap. Shame. But anyways, then we got to Lexi. Now, Lexi's my least favorite member of the trio, but I don't hate Lexi. In fact, I actually like Lexi. Yeah, because I think her changing voices is pretty cool. I mean, she is American design, but then she changes her American accent to Scottish, then French. What next? German? We don't know. Which is pretty cool, in my opinion. I also love the idea that Lexi and Theo are, well, as a kind of a duo. You know, if you check the song What Can We Do, it's basically they're mostly together. Which, wait a minute. Do I sense something more than just friendship? I'm really sorry. I just thought that part was funny. Really? Because I actually ship Lexi and Theo, so yeah, I just want to add that part in. We're 8 minutes in? Huh. Well, we must move on then. The only issue I have with the experimental engines is that why is Hurricane not one of them? I mean, Hurricane's an experimental locomotive himself. Surely he can join in. Then you could have the members of 3 to 4. That'd be pretty interesting. But we didn't get that. Still, I like Hurricane with Frankie nonetheless. That's all I get. That's all I have to say for these 3. So yeah, let's move on. Number 4. Samson. Another character that the LEGO Motion suggested. And I'm actually thought of putting him in it anyway, so that was pretty interesting. But anyways, Samson is pretty interesting. What I like about him, because he reminds me of Neil. Yeah, he reminds me of Neil because they're both box cab engines. Wait, is that a theory that Samson was a soda mainline rail engine? Huh, that actually could work. But anyways, so when Samson arrived, he was pretty interesting. I mean, he did not like being wrong at everything. Say that Samson at your service, I think that was, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it. He accidentally took the express coaches and they ended up at the quarry. Yeah. Yeah, but over time he did work at the Earl's estate at some point, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, the part when he thought the volcano was erupting, but really it's just a part of a bonfire. That was pretty hilarious. I could see the expression on his face. However, we did get bad episodes with him, and they are so horrendous. People call him as one of the worst characters ever, which I kind of disagree with. But anyways, out of all the episodes, I think the worst of him that he was in was, you guessed it, Samson sent for scrap. I mean, literally, Samson, you just stole the fat controller's car. I'm surprised you didn't get arrested for it. However, in Big World Big Adventures in season 22, they decided to give Samson one last episode, and that episode was Samson at the fireworks, which it reveals that he's scared of fireworks. Until Bradford told him that fireworks are not that scary, so they lit a firework and they were rescued. Unlike some Big World Big Adventure episodes, this is one of the least bad ones. I think this episode is very good, and it had a character ending for Samson, I guess, but they didn't actually did that much with him, unfortunately. Also, this ended up becoming his last appearance. I really love Bradford as a character, and I think him pairing up with Samson was honestly a pretty good choice. Well done for the writers. Well done. But it's a shame no, we'll never see him again. And I think he should have gotten more character arc. So, he gets the number 4 spot on my list. Number 3. Buttermash. Not a Tom's and Friends character this time. So, you might be thinking, hang on a minute, he has character development. Well, not really. Let me explain. A long time ago, there was this fan-made My Little Pony series called Buttons Adventure Collection. It's just a collection, it's just Buttons Adventures, don't worry. I actually loved this fan-made series. It's because they actually showed us a background character we'll never see again actually getting the spotlight. Man, I wish we had good times. Also, this is one of the few seasons that is really good. I mean, it's a fan-made dream come true. I mean, anyone would trade anything just to see this. Man, I wish they still have it. This. Yeah, but however, the character that we are talking about is, well, but in reality, he's actually a background character that probably plays video games. Yep, pretty much. Yeah, but that's the magic about Button Mash. That's what I like about him, because he has potential. And also, you really need to feel sorry for the guy when he lost a video game because of Sweetie Belle. Yeah. Oh yeah, fun fact, did you know Button Mash was actually named after this restaurant? I didn't know that. Okay, maybe that last part I said wasn't true, but you got to admit, a restaurant named after a cartoon character, that's pretty hilarious. Speaking of Sweetie Belle, I did see some pictures online and probably some videos on the internet that some people actually ship Buttermash with Sweetie Belle, and here's my response to it. Okay, sure, go free what you like, because I kind of like this ship a little bit. I mean, it's not, I don't actually ship these two, but it's a pretty good ship. I think it's a better ship than Thunderbloom. But if you love the ship or not, it's up for you guys to decide. So yeah, it's an okay ship in my opinion. But what makes this character sad is that he's the only one that doesn't get a cutie mark. I mean, I know it's a nitpick, but surely that you could make an episode where he got a cutie mark. Also, he did get a redesign, but I prefer this design better. I don't hate his redesign, I just prefer his old one. But what do you guys think? And I'm probably going to get attacked by many YouTubers, but here's who I ship butter mash with. Bab seeds. Yeah, I ship butter mash with bab seeds, okay? So please don't come after me. I have a family, please. Alright. I just wanted to get that out of the way for you guys. So yeah, basically, that's all I got to say for butter mash. We're 15 minutes in. Wow, we're not even at number 1 yet. So let's move on. Number 2. Trixx and Skip from Bob the Builder. Yep. Spoiler, these are the only Bob the Builder characters that are on this list. The reason why they're on this list is because, well, let me explain. Out of all the characters that Hit Entertainment created, I think these two had the more potential. Here's why. So, during production for season 7, I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was season 7, the writers decided to create these two new characters, Trixx and Skip. I actually like them. They're some of my favorite characters from the show. But why did Hit decide to create these two? Well, the answer was quite simple, really. Money! Get your money, 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 get your money, money, money. I'm real sorry about that. So, Trixx, out of the two of them, she had more personality than Skip. Basically, she's a forklift that works with JJ and her doll Molly. Basically, she's a forklift. She has a similar personality to Dizzy, but a little bit annoying. But, I don't let that bother me that much. So yeah, Trixx is pretty okay in my opinion. I actually like her. However, I think one of the alright episodes of she was in has to be Trixx's tiles. Basically, she just wanted to help Bob out, so yeah, so she just drove the wrong tiles to Wendy. And yeah, but thankfully JJ and Lottie got the right tiles. Did you think Trixx got away with it? Oh no, she got punished by JJ. Man, I wish we have this still. Yeah, so I guess that's all I got to say for Trixx. Let's move on to Skip. Now we're at Skip. Now Skip is an underrated character. Yeah, he had a less personality than Trixx. But he has a little bit more personality than Flora from Tom's of Friends. So basically, his character is quite an interesting one to say the least. Well, yeah. I think the best episode that he was ever in has to be Skip His Big Idea. Here's why. So the idea is that Skip is a little bit jealous of Scoop's idea, I think, yeah. So he tries to think of an idea himself. But however, his idea did almost got, you guessed it, Bob nearly got killed. However, with quick thinking from Skip, he thought of a genius idea to get a bed mattress and put in his dump, lay it on the ground, and Bob got into this thing, dumpster, I think. I'm sorry I got it wrong. I haven't watched this episode in a long time. And boom, Bob is saved, boys and girls. He's fine. Although Skip admitted that it was his fault that Bob got into this mess, Bob, Skip, and Rolly cheered him up, saying it was his idea to save Bob, which is a pretty good idea. This is why I like Skip more than Trixx. Oh yeah, the only Bob the Builder DVD I own is actually the Speedy Skip DVD. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. However, like all characters, both Trixx and Skip got refurbished and rebuilt into Packer and Sunsy, so we never saw Trixx and Skip ever again. Shame, really. A shame. I don't get why they reuse Skip and Trixx's mold when they could just easily rebuild some. What, were they at budget cuts? I guess so. Now, let's get to my number 1 pick. So here we go. And my number 1 pick of cartoon characters that should have gotten character development a long time ago is, drumroll please, Billy the Orange Tank Engine, Charlie the Purple Engine, and Snips and Snails from My Little Pony. Here's why these 4 are on my list. Out of all the cartoon characters, these 4 what interest me the most. Here's why. So let's start with Billy. Billy was the first one created out of the 4 of them. He was introduced in the only episode he was in, Don't Be Silly Billy, which was in season 11. Even though some people call this as one of the worst hit ever episodes of all time, I actually defend this episode as one of the greatest episodes ever created. Here's why. So Billy is my second favorite Thomas character. So yes, I actually love his design, his buck teeth, everything about him. Unlike some characters from the hit era that come nice and polite and want to be really useful, Billy was different. But that's the best part about it. He did not actually want to do all the work. He really wanted to do his own things. However, this only made him act like a spoiled little brat. But that's one of the greatest things about Billy. He nearly messed up nearly every single job that he was in. Delivering the chickens, delivering fuel tankers, and even pushing Percy in the coal hopper by accident. But, unlike some characters, Billy learned his mistake the hard way by literally running out of coal and water, and Thomas gave him advice how to be a really useful engine, advice for a protagonist. After he fixed all his mistakes, despite the Percy mistake, but I can understand why, because they need to keep the runtime. Despite he did not help Percy, he fixed up the other mistakes he made. And Billy wasn't a silly Billy anymore. He is now a really useful engine. But what if I told you this was not supposed to be Billy's only episode? In Splish Splash Splosh, he was supposed to be in it episode, however, he got replaced by Charlie at the final cut. Despite the fact that, despite Sharon Miller trying her best to bring Billy to CGI, Billy met his fate in the hands of the cutter's torch. Now let's move on to Charlie, the second character out of the lot. So, I used to hate Charlie when I was younger, but now I kind of like him. He's now one of my favorite characters now. Here's why. Cause he was mostly designed as a terrible character, which is understandable. But that's one of the greatest things about Charlie now. Here's why. So Charlie was created in the extra episode for season 13, Playtime, which is probably the worst episode he was in, but it built up to his character. In the episode Not Now Charlie, he actually, when he tried to tell the truth about an elephant escape from the animal park, no one believed him. Eventually, he got the Soldier Search and Rescue Center to help him, and so the elephant was returned to the animal park safe and sound. Yeah, this is like one of those rare episodes Charlie's in, and it built up to his character. However, after this episode, he was shown to the background and he never spoke again. Pretty sad, to be honest. And finally, we got the Snips and Snails, who I actually really want to talk about the most. So these two were created in My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, and they're actually my 4 favorite characters from the show. Here's why. These two, in my opinion, are the best male characters. The reason why was because, like Charlie and Billy before him, I think the writers got inspiration from those two to create these two. But Snips actually has the more interesting story out of Snails. Here's why. In one of the season 2 episodes, it reveals that Snips actually has a crush on Apple Bloom, and that was something that was ignored by every single fan of the show. Seriously, how did you not see it? It was right there! It was right there! And because of this, Snips nearly had nearly an obvious choice that he was going to be with Apple Bloom if it wasn't for one thing. In 2016, during the production for season 6 of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, Hasbro decided to create a new character named Taps and have him interact with one of the main characters just to see how the character could work. But in selecting one of our main 7 characters, Hasbro only worsened their infamy more by selecting Apple Bloom, one of the Cutie Mark Crusaders and the love of Snips' life.
No! No! Does not compute! Does not compute! Does not compute!
And trust me, this only had negative reactions from every writer, animator, you name it. They tried their best to talk Hasbro out of creating this character named Taps, and instead make them make an episode where Snips tells Apple Bloom his crush on her. But DGX Media would have none of it. DGX Media worsened their infamy more, and in 2016, they created the hideous Taps.
Stupid! This is stupid! 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 Stupid!
Knowing this idea was a very bad idea, and what have Hasbro done to one of the greatest shows of all time? Hasbro did not have a good heart by trying to erase the fans' memories of Snips' crush on Apple Bloom because of that god-awful character. If DGX Media only listened to the team, maybe Taps will never existed, and maybe we'll get that episode we were dreaming of. I mean, and what have Hasbro done to the greatest ship of My Little Pony of all time? I mean, this is Snip Bloom we're talking about. Why is it one of the greatest? Actually, scratch that. Why is it the best My Little Pony ship of all time? Well, let me explain. The reason why this ship is the best ship out of My Little Pony of all time is because it could have been canon. We could have gotten it. But no. It was our dreams of that happening was flushed away. All because of DGX Media's foolish actions. If they had listened to the writers, maybe Taps will never existed, and maybe this would have been the ship we were dreaming of. To do this kind of thing to one of the greatest My Little Pony ships of all time, this is an absolute sin. Just an absolute sin. Both Snips and Snails' final moments in the show was probably in Scootaloo's parents. Probably I hate that episode. And despite the fact that it's now a less chance, there was actually an attempt to get Snips and Apple Bloom together. Presuming, of course, to undo what Hasbro made them to do. And they'll probably will have probably a daughter named Glitter. I actually forgot the name, but it's a probably good character. I'll give them whoever made this that. But that attempt was sadly unsuccessful, and both Snips and Snails sadly met their fates in the hands of the Cutter's Torch. And as for Charlie, despite the fact that he was a successful character, he ended up becoming one of the characters that was eventually forgotten about, leaving one of Billy and Charlie's family members, Stanley, behind. These 4 characters could have made funny, annoying, but likable characters if they were given character development like Rosie, Stanley, you name them. And because of Snips and Snails are now in Pony Life, the reboot of Friendship is Magic, it is out the question if Billy and Charlie will ever get the same treatment. So that leaves these 4 cartoon characters the number 1 spot on my list of cartoon characters that should have been given character development a long time ago. So that is it, boys and girls. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.